Hi everybody. I'm doing a couple of little films because usually when we are selling our plants at shows and when we're doing our garden talks and everything, one of the main things people worry about are alpines in winter, which sounds a bit ironic because of course alpines are fully hardy. However, of course, with the environment being as it is and global warming, we are quite sensible now to gardens and to most of our winters in Britain at least becoming wetter and milder. The big irony is, as we know, is if things are milder, then things sometimes carry on flowering. And indeed, we were having a discussion recently about Lewisias actually still being in flower recently at an Alpine Garden Society show. And that's the way it is. If we're thinking about sort of preparation, this particular film is I'm going to talk about how to overwinter the more delicate alpines in terms of the ones, they are fully hardy, they often go down to -5 or -10, they really hate wet, and they're the ones that most people tend to lose in winter because of the damp. So the one that I'm firstly going to bring up is, of course, is the sempervivum. So the sempervivum, of course, you've seen me do another film on this. Basically, hens and chicks, and basically all the house leek. It is a plant that naturally spreads, or you can remove the babies or whatever. But as you can see from the middle, it is about the actual plant getting wet in the middle, and that actually rots the plant. So we always talk about building up with grit, and we talk about actually planting on the side. If that is not possible, sometimes it might be better if you can lift them in. To be fair with you, often with sempervivums I'm finding that even with some torrential rain, it's about the gradient that they're in, lots and lots of gritty soil, and it's about laying them on the side because nature's provided them with that Teflon coat, if you like, and as long as that water doesn't get in the middle, it should be okay. And I mentioned it earlier, the common one, a lot of ladies often said this, is, oh, I'm always losing my Lewisias. My Lewisias are always dying. They're a South African plant. And basically, it is to do with the fact, ironically, once again, it's the way the actual leaves are formulated. They've got that peculiar cup-like shape. And once again, if frost or water gets in the centre of them, then that's often when you actually lose them due to rot, too much damp and so on. So once again, it's the amount of medium you've got them in, lots of gritty sandy soil, but also if you can try and not plant it proud like that, but try and plant it slightly on the side. Obviously when it's finished flowering, you get some really snub-nosed scissors. I like these, which look a bit horrendous, I know, or there are like clippers that florists use, which my husband tends to prefer. I like these, I can't tell you why. And just simply snip the flower heads off, like so, because of course the leaves themselves are evergreen, and as I said, it's a matter of just trying to pop it on the side. Now, if we are going to get sort of weather like St. Swithin's and it's going to be really horrendous, then once again, you may even want to lift them under your porch eaves of your house or whatever. Or sometimes what we say is a half lemonade bottle and just pop it over the plant itself, and pop a little stone or brick or something on top of it, and it provides that cover from the torrential rain. Heavy dew, light rain, light snowfall shouldn't harm it, as long as I've said it's planted on the side. And then finally, or the last two, is mostly your Delospermas. So your Delosperma suntropics in this case. So obviously when they're finished flowering, they've got these dead bits here. It's simply, once again, a matter of snipping away there and just cutting off the extra dead leaves, of course, tidying up as you go along, not just letting them go all over the bench as I'm doing. And basically it's ensuring that they're all tidy and protecting from wet, not from frost. They go out down to -5, these things, and Just get that dead bit there. And then that, not only are you getting rid of the dead wood, literally, you're also allowing for growth amongst the green leaves. Pop my label back in there. And basically allowing that green foliage to grow and to spread. And like with any plant, it just helps keep strength and growth within the centre of that plant. And then just keep things nice. And once again, it's a matter of these things that like South African plants really, they don't like getting lots of wet, Delospermas. So basically, all the Lamprus are the same. So basically, it's a matter of lots and lots of grit build up in your pots or whatever, and basically make sure that you can pop a lemonade bottle over if we are having torrential rain. Light rain shouldn't be an issue, heavy dew shouldn't be an issue, but it's about making sure that drainage can occur and that any excess can float off the plant like that.